Well, I think we can go live now to some live pictures from Taksim Square. You can see lots of flames there, people throwing things onto the flames, it looks like. That's the scene in Taksim Square in Istanbul. Well, to talk about that now, joining us live from Ankara is the AKP MP, Pelin Gundes Bakir. And from Taksim Square, we had hoped to be joined by one of the protesters, but as you can see from those pictures there, and because of the police action, unfortunately, they weren't able to reach our cameras. Pelin Gundes Bakir, when you see the pictures of protesters who've been bloodied, blinded by plastic bullets and gasping from tear gas, it's clear, isn't it, that the police have been rather heavy-handed, have they not?
Actually, police did not interfere with peaceful protesters. Police actually interfered with those terrorist groups who are mixed and who are hiding among the peaceful protesters. Actually, in the first 2 days, there were peaceful protesters only in those areas around the Gezi Park. But after 2 days, some terrorist groups, some illegal groups mixed and entered among the protesters, among the peaceful protesters, and they started throwing Molotov cocktails towards the police, and several hundreds of police were injured by Molotov cocktails thrown at them, by stones thrown at them, and one policeman lost his life. After that moment, police had to interfere with pressurized water only. And actually, I want to also say, and clearly say this, that the events are very localized. It is not like it's shown in the Western media, actually. It's not widespread. It's only localized events in Taksim area. And today I had guests from the American Congress and American House of Representatives from the United States of America. And they said, oh, we were seeing that there were huge protests in Turkey, but when we came to Turkey, we saw that everywhere is very peaceful.
Okay, but you can see the protests. Excuse me, but you can see the protests going on right now. You can see those flames licking the sky. You can see people throwing things onto the flames. The protesters we've spoke to deny throwing Molotov cocktails. And you've got to admit, have you not, that, okay, there may be some terrorists amongst that. You use the words terrorists yourself. But there's also a very broad range of protesters, surely. There's a mix of young and old, men and women, secular and religious. Do you not accept that?
Police does not interfere in peaceful protesters. Those men and women and children, police does not interfere. We want to underline this very clearly. Turkey is a country of democracy. We believe in Western values. We believe in democracy, the rule of law and human rights. And these values are very important for our government. And our government is here for those values, to establish those values. So it's impossible for our government to act in a violent way to protesters, peaceful protesters. But actually, we cannot allow terrorist groups to actually put their terrorist propaganda material and posters in certain parts of the city.
Okay, but as a member of the governing party, as a colleague, but as a member of the governing party and as a colleague of the Prime Minister, will you apologise to those peaceful protesters who've been caught up in this heavy-handed police action?
Actually, up to now, there was no action on the peaceful protesters. What is done is towards those illegal groups and terrorist groups who are among those peaceful protesters.
But it's indiscriminate, isn't it? Our reporter was caught up in it.
By walkie-talkies, and they are, like, you know, trained on this. Sorry, I couldn't get you.
But it's the police action is indiscriminate. It has caught up the peaceful protesters in amongst everybody else.
No. Today, no, this information is not correct. Today, the police did not enter the Gezi Park. And they made announcements that we are not entering the Gezi Park. They only took down those posters of terrorist organizations from the statue of Atatürk and from the Atatürk Cultural Center. You see, we are a Western democracy. We have multi-party system. We believe in the rule of law. And we act in the rule of law, towards the borders of the rule of law. And this party, Justice and Development Party, took 50% of the people's votes. And we have, after 9 months, another election. So we never acted for the last 10 years in a violent way. It's impossible for our party. It's against our principles. And from now on, this will go on. We will never interfere with the peaceful protesters. But those illegal terrorist organizations, under a country or under the rule of law, this cannot be allowed. That
I'm afraid
they are breaking the pavements.
Okay,
they are
I'm afraid we have to stop it there.
At the policemen. They are burning buses and they are burning ambulances. These are not acceptable.
Okay, I'm afraid we have to stop it there. Pelin, Gundes, Bakir, thank you very much for joining us.